Hello, we are on page 120 and I'm going to begin with problem number 2. This is lesson 20 problem set. So number 2 says fill in the blanks. A, B, C, D is a trapezoid. Find the measurements listed below. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm looking at my figure over here, which is a trapezoid. And I know that one angle is given. It's 40 degrees. And I know that this little square right here represents a 90-degree angle. So there's one right here, and there is also another that is right here. So angle C and angle D are considered a right angle. I drew a line right here to make an angle because I know it doesn't say it exactly, but remember we learned that trapezoid, the opposite side is also have the same angle. So that's why angle D is also considered 90 degrees. And because I know that, I'm going to write down angle D is 90 degrees. Now, it asks me, I'm going to add 40 degrees plus 90 degrees together so that I can find out what could possibly be angle A. So I'm adding 0 plus 0, which is equal to 0. 4 plus 9, which is equal to 13. I get 130. So I'm going to add 130 plus 90 degrees, which is this angle. So I'm basically adding 40 degrees plus 90 degrees plus 90 degrees. So now I'm going to add that together. 0 plus 0 is 0. 9 plus 3 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 2. So I get 220. So that's for B, C, and D is equal to 220. So I'm going to color it in for you so you guys can kind of see. Angle B, angle C, and angle D is equal to 220 degrees. With the number 220, I'm going to subtract it from 360. Miss Tran, why are you subtracting it from 360 degrees? Because remember I told you that all shapes, when angles are added all together, is equal to 360 degrees. So I'm subtracting 360 degrees minus 220 degrees. So 0 minus 0 is equal to 0. 6 minus 2 is equal to 4. And 3 minus 2 is equal to 1. So my final answer for angle A is equal to 140 degrees. Okay? Now, what other names does this figure have below? It can also be called a quadrilateral or a trapezoid. Now I'm moving on to problem B. For problem B, it states that RECT is a rectangle. This is RECT. Find the measurements listed below. So we have line TE, and this is line TE. It's a little blurry, so I'm going to try to make it less blurry. Let's see. There you go. So it says right here, line TE, which is this line right here, TE is equal to how many inches? I need to figure out my measurement. The measurement that I do know is MT, which is equal to 13. And remember, a rectangle, its bisectors are exactly the same, so they're equal to each other. So 13, if MT is equal to 13 inches, then on the other side, EM is also equal to 13 inches. So I'm going to write right here 13 inches. So in order to find line TE, I'm going to add together 13 plus 13 to get the measurement TE. So I'm adding right here 13 plus 13, okay? Or actually, I'm going to put it on this line over here so you guys can see that. 13 plus 13 is equal to 26 inches. Okay, now I'm gonna do problem line RC. So looking at RC, this is RC. RC, there is an R and a C. So this is the line that I'm looking at only. RC, okay? Now looking at RC, Okay, they asked me how much is this line. You don't see any numbers, but remember a rectangle has the same measurements for their lines. So if this one is 13 inches and this one is 13 inches, this one is also 13 inches. And this line is also 13 inches. So remember, we added earlier, 13 plus 13 is equal to 26 inches. So RC is equal to 26 inches. Now the next line we have says line CT. Line CT is right here, CT. And over here we have 11 inches. And remember, rectangles have the same opposite sides. So if this one is 11 inches, then CT is also 11 inches. So I'm writing down 11 inches. Now, the next measurement I have, and these are tricky because it doesn't tell you directly what it is. So it says ERM. I'm going to show you. Make sure you're paying attention. We have angle ERM. Okay? ERM. This is the angle we have here. So if I were to color this in so you guys can kind of see it. ERM. This is the angle we're talking about. ERM. The middle letter is the angle they're asking you to look for. Angle R. That's why I wrote right here, angle R, so you can see it. They do this so that you know exactly what they're talking about. So angle ERM, the middle letter, which is R, is the angle they're asking you to look for. If this side is 35, then I need to figure out how much is my angle over here, okay? So if this one is 35, I'm going to subtract 180 minus 35 to figure out what is angle ERM. So that's what I'm going to do. Oh wait, not minus 180. So this right here is a right angle, right? We see a right angle right there. So you're subtracting minus 90. So 90 minus 35 is going to give me my angle ERM. So 90 minus 35 is going to give me my measurements. I'm writing it right there so you know where I'm getting these numbers from. So now I'm going to subtract 90 minus 35. I know that 10 minus 5 is equal to 5. And 8 minus 3 is equal to 5. So I get 55 degrees. And that's what I'm going to write down for angle R. Okay. It's starting to look very messy. But this is angle R. And the whole entire thing is equal to 55 degrees. My next measurement, they asked me to look for CTR. Do you hear that? CTR. T is the middle letter, so they're asking you to look for angle T. Angle T is right here, okay? Now, I know that a rectangle has all right angles. So this is a right angle, this is a right angle, this is a right angle, and so is that one. So that means that angle T is equal to 90 degrees, okay? Now, what other names does this figure have? You can also call this a quadrilateral, a trapezoid, or a parallelogram. Now, I'm going to move on to the next problem. We have problem C. Problem C says PARL is a parallelogram. Okay, it tells me it's a parallelogram. That means that all sides are parallel to each other. So this side is parallel to this side. This side is parallel to this side. So I'm going to draw my little angle so I remember, my arrows, sorry, my little arrows so I remember that they are parallel to each other. So looking at line AL, okay, so I'm going to look for line AL. Here's A and here's L, so this is line AL right here. I know one side is 8 centimeters, so the other side must also be 8 centimeters. 8 centimeters plus 8 centimeters is equal to 16 centimeters. So I'm going to write here 8 plus 8 is equal to 16 centimeters. Okay, now the next one. It says line